You said you're not set up for it, but you're here. So there's value to you being here. And I say this all the time on YouTube. Real estate's not all about the money. It's about finding the deal and putting it together and being able to actually do what you say and run the show and get this revenue through Airbnb. There's a good partnership to be had here. And you may know someone back home who would trust that you can do what you're going to do, or you may find someone through the school community or through this YouTube community who would want to partner with you on this. And I think I would caution anybody who is going to become a real estate investor and just starting out, don't overcomplicate things. You don't need to think that things need to be more complicated than they are. Real estate investing has been around forever, and people have been figuring out how to do partnerships together forever. So most of the time, it's as simple as, writing it down, what it is that you want your partnership to do. And then you can even take bullet points and hand them to a real estate attorney and say, here's what we want to do. Protect us, Mr. Attorney, and go that way.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so she is in our free community, and every week we're going to bring on a new person that is the highest in the 7-day leaderboard. And the way you get points there is by commenting, liking, making posts, all together just engaging with the community. And she crushed the leaderboard. I think she had twice the amount of points as the next person. So Des, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you. And we had her send over some deals that she wanted to talk about tonight. If you guys are ready, we can kind of just start digging into it. Does that sound good to you?
I'm ready.
Why don't we just jump into the first one, Des? You want to lead us out?
Yeah, sure. So the first one I have up is a property that I'm interested in. These are both off-market properties, and it's in Carolina, kind of like in the northern, close to Trujillo Alto, kind of in that part. And it's a 6-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and they're asking $325,000. It's turnkey, fully furnished. Nothing's really needed to begin short-term rentals.
Is it a short-term rental area? Are there other people doing short-term rentals in that area?
I didn't see that there was like right in that neighborhood, but like around.
But around, near enough, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not. So the area you're describing, it's inland, right? So it's not near the coast. It's not super close to the airport either. I mean, it's not far from the airport. We have some long-term rentals over there in that Trujillo Alto area.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes from everything around.
Right. And so it's an area that certainly would work for Airbnb. I don't know that it's like ideal, but if the property is super nice and has some experience or some reason that people would want to go there, like a really nice swimming pool or, great mountain views or something like that. Tell us a little bit about the property then.
So right now it doesn't have those things. I would like to turn it into like a wellness B&B. So that's what people would be coming for, is more of the atmosphere of wellness. So here we go. Got a lot of photos. Yes.
Is it on Airbnb or is it?
They have it listed on Airbnb. I think he also uses Verbo and other places. The person selling it has other large short-term rentals. So that's their niche, is large short-term rentals. I think this one has the least number of bedrooms of the things I saw listed on their Airbnb. Most of them are large.
I like that also, that niche of hosting big groups. We've been thinking about that as well. Like the price point can just become outrageously good if you can sleep 10 or 15 or 20 people, and it only costs a few $100s a night, maybe even up to $1,000 a night, but you're sleeping so many people that your price per person is very, very nominal.
Right. And also, like, Puerto Rico has been a place that has been like a go-to for wellness and wellness retreats. And because I've been there for a few years, I've been communicating with people in the wellness community, and a lot of people need space.
Do you have any idea what kind of terms he would take? Like, if you put 30 or 40% down, would he finance the balance, and for how long, and what kind of interest rate, or you haven't gotten that far?
So the example he gave, I think he would probably be more interested in maybe 30% or less, so seller financing.
So he wants you to come up with the lion's share of it, and then he finances a smaller portion. So he would go for 70% down, and then seller finance the balance.
Correct.
Okay. Well, listen, any seller financing is helpful, right? I mean, that's
exactly. So I'm looking
Yeah.
for financial partners for both of my deals. And then I'm running the business there, and they would just get their monthlies off of, you know, the stays, because my business that I'll run while I'm there would be separate, like the other stuff that I would be doing, the wellness stuff.
Why not?
So you're looking for a partner to come in on the ownership of the building, and they will be in on the profit of the Airbnb, and then you're going to have some secondary businesses as well. That's awesome. What kind of splits have you thought about offering? Are you trying to do 50-50 with an equity partner, or what are you considering?
Well, if they're fully funding, I'm totally open to a 50-50 with an equity split and some revenue share monthly. And then, you know, if they're not fully funding it, then it would be some type of percentage based on the percentage that they're able to give, you know.
Absolutely. If you had to raise
I'm pretty amenable.
$250,000.
Yeah, I'm pretty amenable to negotiating terms that work for both of us. I like wins around the table. So,
have you done any real estate deals prior to this, or
the only
what were you doing in the States?
I haven't done any yet. I've done one in Baltimore that was a seller finance long-term property that I bought back in 2017, and I sold in 2021 just before I happened to move to Puerto Rico. So now I'm trying to re-engage and actually build my retirement income, as well as the life that I want to live. So part of this may be a little bit house hacking, but I also, like, if I'm running a bread and breakfast, I kind of want to be there on site because there's a lot of things I'll be doing there.
Do you currently own here on the island?
No,
I do. Renting. And wouldn't it be better maybe to look like an FHA product and just tell them you're going to live there and put 3% down?
No, right now I'm not financially in that position, so I would prefer.
Well, you can still do a partner that way, though. You can.
So yeah,
money to bring to the table.
Yeah, if there's a credit partner that's available that is willing to do that, then yes, I'm open to that.
That's not a bad idea if it would qualify for FHA, and it looks like it would. Now, there may be someone who's watching this and they think that they'd like your project. If you guys were able to find someone, if you found somebody that could do the FHA loan, now you've only got to figure out how to come up with 3 to 5% plus closing costs, and you borrow the money from the bank at a very low interest rate, and that's great. I mean, that would be phenomenal. That's a good idea.
It's about like 11,000 for the 3%.
Yeah. So if you only need 15 grand or so, or 20 grand,
how much to close?
With FHA, you could negotiate everything. Like you could just come in with 3% of the sales price, and I'm not an expert on this, but you could wrap the closing costs into it, is what I'm saying. So maybe you offer them, you come to your best deal and then tell them, hey, I want to get an FHA loan. And maybe you bring up the sales price a bit so that you wrap in some of those closing costs and you're very low money out of pocket.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this house is less than 5 or less than 4 or less units right now. So it would qualify FHA and rural, by the way. You could probably get a rural loan.
It's one single house with a bunch of rooms, right? It's not.
It's 2 units. He said it's like side by side units.
Yeah, that's fine. Still qualifies.
Yeah, that would qualify for sure. Also, you probably know this, but maybe you don't. But if you're going to run it as a bed and breakfast, there is a section in Act 60 that takes care of bed and breakfast, and you can get 40% tax credits back. You can make the revenue at a 4% corporate tax rate, and you'll only pay like 25 cents on the dollar for property taxes. There's a whole bunch of goodies that come with doing that. So the government likes to reward people to do the kind of investing that they want you to do. Puerto Rico wants you to invest in hospitality. So if you can do a bed and breakfast, there is the chance that it'll qualify. It's likely it would qualify for a bed and breakfast, which would be a 60% tax credits. All you need is 3 to 5 units and you living there running the bed and breakfast.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely.
And you doesn't have to be you, actually. It could be anybody, but
yeah,
someone has to live in there and run.
Somebody needs to live there and serve breakfast.
The second deal you have there is also for Airbnb, or is that a flip or something?
No, that would be Airbnb. It's fully furnished as well.
Yeah.
And doesn't need anything. And
What's the difference between both of them?
the difference is this one is only 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's across the street from the Isla Verde beach, right by the Walgreens, if you know where that area is. Like right off the highway. When you come off the highway, you make the right, and then you see the Walgreens on the right. It's like the building next to it. So it's very convenient to the beach and all kinds of eateries and everything. So that would most definitely be like just short-term rental right there.
Just the pictures of that. Wow, that looks good.
And it has
Do you
like
know
the
what the
hurricane.
monthly income is on this?
There is no monthly income. She was living in it as primary residence for the last 6 years. So it's
Oh, you know what this is? We went to see
This is Brenton's place.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
We seen this place. We saw it like a year ago.
Oh, okay. What did you think about it?
I like
Actually, it's on the other side.
it's the same building or the yeah. So I liked it. They're small units. They're more like hotel rooms. But you said this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. The one we looked at was just like a hotel room, just an efficiency.
Yeah, it didn't have
So this
And it
video right
wasn't-
here.
and it wasn't anywhere near this nice, to be honest.
Yeah, she did some work in it. I don't know how recently, but she's been living there for 6 years, so it's not too old.
The pool area, it's kind of a communal pool area, but it's really nice, right?
Yeah, it's a communal pool for the building.
Yep.
And it comes with a parking space.
How many bedrooms is this? You said 3?
2.
Two bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So the next bedroom that she'll go into is the master, which has the bathroom inside of it.
I like
And each-
these little
Oh, and
videos.
also the doors have locks. So she put locks on the doors because she wasn't sure if she was going to do a short-term rental. So the bedrooms and the laundry room already have locks on them. And the building also has a communal laundry room that has, you can wash at a cost. So I don't have to let them use this washer and dryer if I didn't want to.
Yeah, or you could save the washer and dryer for your cleaning crew,
Right.
and you could let the guests use the coin.
Right.
Oh.
And then also it has a emergency 800-gallon water tank on the roof.
Does that have a generator?
Any generator for the building?
It does not have a generator, but I can get one of those. That's pretty simple. But the water part, you always need water. So she said the water would last about a month if the water went out.
Well, that's certainly good. You can live on water.
Hmm.
You can't live without it.
So
Right.
what would be your pros and cons against buying this compared to the other one? Because this is a better location for sure. But to do
Yes.
the wellness thing is definitely the other one.
So the wellness thing is my passion project. This one would be my cash cow project.
Yeah, no, that
So
was
just something to back up the other one because low seasons happen. So yeah, it has hurricane shutters for the porch windows.
She
Does
did
it
a good
include
job with
parking?
these videos, didn't she? Yeah. Does it include a parking space?
Yes, it includes the 1 parking space.
Okay.
But she said that the parking lot is hardly ever full. There's always spaces so people can park.
And you're allowed to do Airbnb there?
Yes, the building, it does allow it. They do charge an extra like $30 to $40 to the HOA if you do short-term rentals, just for like the additional like garbage and stuff like that. But yeah.
they gotta get their dues.
And she'd be selling it furnished, I guess.
Yes, selling it fully furnished just like that. She's just taking her personal effects.
So Des, I would say, and I've said this several times on our YouTube channel, I don't love buying properties that don't have cash flow based off of nightly rental stuff. If you're going to buy a property thinking it's going to cash flow because of Airbnb, I'd rather see you make an offer based off of what it would rent for long term.
Right.
So the reason that I say that is because long term is kind of the sure thing. And if you can buy it at a price that it's going to cash flow even on the long term rents, and then you can do better because you're going to spend the time and the effort, put the work in to do Airbnb. I don't think you have to buy based on Airbnb potential values. However, that's a very nice unit, and it's not terribly overpriced or anything, right? Like, so
Right.
the area is A+. That's about as A+ as that that can get. I mean, unless you were on the other side of the street directly on the beach, it
Exactly.
really doesn't get a lot better than that. That is a place that would stay rented all the time. So
even in the low season, and that's what I would like, is something that would even stay rented in the off-peak season.
I think even in the off-peak season, yeah, you could be renting to snowbirds. You could be,
Well,
for sure.
And even if you have to go long-term rental, you probably get $2,000 a month or more.
More than
Yeah.
that, I'm pretty sure more than a little bit more, maybe like 2,500.
Yeah, no, but you're in the numbers there. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you're running it on $2,500 a month, that's not a great price point that you're at. Like, she's asking full value, but it's so clean and so easy. And then I really do think you have some upside with the Airbnb. I do think also your ideal partner might be someone who can finance it, and you don't even necessarily have to find somebody who's got cash. It actually makes more sense on both of these deals for you to go and get bank financing. And I think that it's potential for you to get bank financing on both of them if you find the right partner. And the reason why is because your return on investment explodes from there, right? Like, so if you have to put $300,000 cash out to buy either of these places, on the one that's already bringing in cash flow, assuming the 6,000 was a 100% profit, which it's not, that's a 20 cap, and that would be phenomenal cash on cash return. But on a property like the second one, you're buying them both at around 300,000, I think, right?
Mhm.
If you put the cash out and you run the math, you're probably not getting the highest return for a cash on cash. Like, if you were doing 12 to 20%, that would be really good. But if you borrow the money on an FHA loan on either of these places, your return just goes through the roof. Like, your cash on cash return is what I'm talking about. The amount of money that you make after you pay all of the debt and the taxes and all of that versus how much cash you have to put in. So, on either deal, maybe it's $20,000 cash. You're going to make a ridiculous return. And in both places, you have lots of upside and lots of potential for equity to grow over time.
Mhm. Yeah,
So-
and I intend to keep them long term, so I'm trying to keep them at least a decade.
Probably 8%. We'll run the math real quick on a FHA loan at 8%, and maybe it's better than that. But if it was 8%,
so you'd probably be making like almost close to $3,000 payments every month.
your monthly payment would be $3,000 a month. If you're doing that and you run the Airbnb numbers, have you run the math on the second deal here, the one on the beach or near the beach? Like, how much would you get nightly?
Yes, I did. They have like a 77% occupancy rate, and the nightly rate's around $277 for the whole apartment. And if it was just one bedroom, one bathroom, or one rental overnight, it's $177 a night.
Wow.
70,000 divided by 12. So,
well, that's $6,500 a month that you would expect to bring in before costs, right? So even if you ran that at a 40%, which if you're going to run it yourself, you could do better than that. That means you're netting about $4,000 a month, $3,800 a month. That's not bad at all.
Right.
And again, if you find this right partner, if you find a partner who can come in with the credit, you said you're not set up for it, but you're here. So there's value to you being here. And I say this all the time on YouTube. Real estate's not all about the money. It's about finding the deal and putting it together and being able to actually do what you say and run the show and get this revenue through Airbnb. There's a good partnership to be had here. And you may know someone back home who would trust that you can do what you're going to do, or you may find someone through the school community or through this YouTube community who would want to partner with you on this. And we'll invite people to now ask questions. And I don't know how we lead you towards a partnership, but that's like kind of the heart of what we're doing here on this channel, right? We want to find ways to put real estate deals together, and you're doing the work. You're going out there and you're finding deals. And I looked at your deal sheets the first when I saw them this afternoon. I thought, well, her comps are at what she's paying at it, and it's not necessarily great. But now that I'm talking to you, I'm shifting a little bit, because if you can negotiate it down just a little bit, and we talk about deal structure more so than we talk about, you don't have to go get this thing at half price or anything for this to be a great deal. They're both potentially cash cows, like you said. One's a passion project where you could live and you run the business. And then another one, I mean, I think it's true, 75% occupancy in that area. Completely doable. Completely doable. So we have some questions, and if you'll stick around with us, maybe you can answer some questions. And I'm sorry we didn't get to the third deal, guys. The third deal was actually one that I have for sale with some seller financing, and we're going to deep dive into that on our masterclass on Thursday through the Apex group. So if anybody's interested about that, set up a call with McKenna. If you're not a part of Apex, we'll get you set up over there. So what's our question?
How would you partner? How does a partnership with FHA look like?
So how does a partnership with FHA look like? On both of these deals, I think your best partner is probably someone who goes to the bank and fully qualifies for a loan. And the way that it looks is that Des gets it under contract and finds someone who will qualify for the loan, and you guys go the traditional route. You go to the bank and you get the loan from the bank, from Banco Popular or First Bank, and it's just a simple FHA loan. Once you've bought it, your partnership, your structure, it can be negotiated between you and Des. But I think basically, if Des, I don't want to speak to you for you, but if it was me and I had these deals and I found someone who was going to come in and put their credit up, I would probably be willing to give that person half of the profits, and I would take half of the profits. And what are the profits? The profits are the excess of all the expenses. So you have taxes and insurance and principal and interest and cleaning fees and all of the stuff that it costs to run a property. And at the end of the month, there's something that's left over, hopefully, and that's what you're sharing in. And then you're also sharing in the upside value. So you have, over time, that loan's going to get paid off. Your place is going to appreciate. But even if it never appreciated $1, you hold on to it long enough, you'll have an asset that's worth a few $100,000. You won't owe anything on it. And when you sell it, you guys would split that money up as well.
Yeah, so I am definitely open to the terms of how we split things and stuff like that with a partnership. As I said, I want wins around the table. So it would just be a matter of us having conversations to develop rapport and discussing what we want out of the situation.
Yeah, that's right.
So Des, if anybody wanted to reach out to you right now, how would they get a hold of you so they can potentially talk about partnership?
My email would be best. My email is dsmith.rei@gmail.com.
I think I would caution anybody who is going to become a real estate investor and just starting out, don't overcomplicate things. You don't need to think that things need to be more complicated than they are. Real estate investing has been around forever, and people have been figuring out how to do partnerships together forever. So it is, most of the time, it's as simple as, writing it down, what it is that you want your partnership to do. And then you can even take bullet points and hand them to a real estate attorney and say, here's what we want to do. Protect us, Mr. Attorney, and go that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, I put your email up here. Maybe let them know one more time where they can reach you, and anything else you want to say, Des, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. And yes, anyone that is interested in either of these deals or partnering with me on any other deals, whether in Puerto Rico or in the Metro DMV area, you can contact me at dsmith.rei@gmail.com. And yeah, let's get to know each other, make some money, make some deals.
One more thing I would say, if you're able to get some credit partners like you're talking about here, you could probably do both deals easily.
You don't have to have the same partner on each deal. You could
Right.
potentially, but it could be that you do both deals with a different credit partner. You guys are also going to need the 20 grand or so that it's going to cost you, to come to the table. But these things aren't that super hard to figure out. And when you're inside of a community like we have on school, or like we try to provide on this YouTube channel, you have other people who are like-minded, who want to do deals, and they're at different levels too, right? So you're able to Des is able to be on the island of Puerto Rico, sourcing deals and finding them, has the will to go and fight through all of the minutia and get it done and make money. And someone else out there in the world can't come to Puerto Rico yet, but they really want to be here, invested in stuff. And so what a great opportunity. I think I'm glad you won this little contest that we did on school, because this is the first time we've ever done it. And this was tremendous for me. I really have enjoyed this conversation we've just had over the last 20 minutes or so, or wow, we went longer than that, but
it was a good conversation. Thank you very much.